Hello and welcome back to the Center Beacon, coming to you semi-live from my underground studio. This video is going to cover Power Hour, what some people call Pilot of the Hour, most people call it Power Hour. We're going to cover what it is, when it happens, and how you can get in on it, because I get a lot of questions about this from people who have even been playing the game for quite some time. And they are, it's a bit of a mystery to them. So I'm going to do a short video. It's going to give you kind of the ins and outs of when, where, why, and how. And also some tips on, how to kind of game for it, because there is a little bit of gamesmanship that goes into it. So basically, Pilot of the Hour is just what it sounds like. It runs 4 times every day at 8 p.m., 2 a.m., 8 a.m., and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you get 4 chances, depending on where you live, to basically, kind of test your skills against a lot of the really good players on either platform, Android or iOS, platform specific. But usually a lot of the top players, they get on there and it's just a furious hour of trying to score as many points as you can. The more points you score, the more trophies you get, the more trophies you have at the end of the hour, the better your chance of winning. So, probably most of you know it's based on damage. Every 100,000 is 1 trophy. So if you have a game and you score 900,000, that's 9 trophies and you're off to a great start. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of competition. You cannot afford to take losses in Power Hour. Basically, if you lose a match, chances are you are probably not going to win. And really, depending on which Power Hour you run and, the day of the week, there's so much competition that a lot of times you can't afford to miss a kill. You need absolutely every point of damage you can possibly get to get enough points to win, because there are so many great players out there who are just amazingly consistent. I mean, every day you see the same names up there, just crushing it. So it's really a lot of fun. It's a good challenge for your skills. You can run it in any tier, really. Mostly gold and silver are probably going to be what you want to do, though, to really kind of maximize that damage. The beginner tiers, it's not really going to be something that you want to try there. But once you kind of work your way up a little bit, silver, gold, definitely the way to go. So I'll talk about a couple little tips and strategies. Power Hour starts on the hour, but if you begin a game several minutes before the hour and it finishes after the hour, so say you're playing the 8 p.m. Power Hour prime time and you start a game at 7:55 and it finishes at 8:01, you get those points. Okay, so that's a little bit of gamesmanship, a little bit of a pro tip there. You have to be careful, because sometimes, your game ends too early and you basically wasted that game. Because if you started at 7:55 and it ends at 7:59 because you just rolled over the red team, you're not getting any points towards Power Hour. Also, that reminds me too, in Power Hour, only wins count. If you lose, you get no points. So whatever damage you dealt in a loss, I've had 1.2 million points in a loss. Would have been 12 trophies if it's a win. It's 0 as a loss. So bear that in mind. You cannot afford to lose. And then I've noticed, you want to try to sync up your clock when you play. Try to sync up your clock to the time that Pixonics, obviously their servers are running on, because that's the only time that's going to matter. I've noticed for me, Power Hour ends about a minute sooner than what my clock says. So for you, you'll have to kind of work that out and kind of see and kind of test it out yourself, and you'll kind of get it down. But I would dial into their time, so that way you are starting precisely when you should, and you're squeezing in that last game right before they end. Because like I said, for me, I know I need to have that game starting a couple of minutes before the hour, because they're actually about to end, because I'm a little bit behind them. So another tip is, obviously, if damage is king, well then you need to score more damage. And if you run a 3-minute game and you blow over top of the red team and crush them, well, guess what? You might have won, but maybe you only scored 200,000 points. 200,000 points is not acceptable. You can't win Power Hour by just scoring 2 trophies in one match. That's basically a waste. So you need to stretch your games. A lot of people don't seem to realize this. So you actually kind of have to go away from beacons. You don't play for beacons in Power Hour. It's a double-edged sword. you have to be really careful because there's a lot of good players out there, and sometimes I found myself not playing for beacons, and then all of a sudden, whoa, I'm down 2, 3, 4 players, and it's 5-on-2, 6-on-2, whatever it is, and I'm too far behind on beacons, and I lose. You take a loss. So that's part of the fun. It's part of the strategy. You have to pay real close attention to like the flow of the game and see, you know, the circumstances. And sometimes you can stretch it, and you'll see me in some of these videos, some of these clips here, I'll blow right by a red beacon. I won't even try to capture it, because if I'm up 3-2, I let it roll right there. I'm going for damage. If I start picking up too many beacons, I end the game prematurely, and I don't get as many points out of it. So that's a pretty good tip that pretty much everybody who knows what they're doing, they're stretching these games. Now again, especially lately with a lot of the changes to Matchmaker, and we'll have a video on that coming up soon, they've tweaked things. And I'm telling you, these games are tougher. The competition is tougher. The games are more closely balanced, for the most part, I should say. And I have some other things to say on that, too, about some of the unbalanced games, and I'm sure you guys have experienced that. But, yeah, you stretch the game by ignoring beacons where and when possible to score more points. And then you have to be careful, though, because that can also cost you. And like I said, if you take a loss, chances are you're not going to be winning Power Hour. So that's really the gist of it. That pretty much covers everything. If you guys have any further questions on it, you can certainly leave them in the comments. I believe in the video descriptions I have some more ways you can get in contact with me via social media, so on and so forth. But for the most part, that's all there is to it. 4 times a day, and it's a lot of fun. If you guys haven't run it yet, you should try it, because it is fast and furious, and your thumbs will be sore at the end of it, because you can tell during those Power Hour hours, everybody's jumping on. All the guys that are really good, all the ladies out there that are like really talented at this game, they jump on at Power Hour to really test themselves, because they know that's when a lot of the good players they're out there and they're gunning. And you can see in some of these videos here that like this one here, I'm in a crippled bot, a lot of damage I soaked up here in this game, was able to get the win. But it's fun. You want to try it, and that's all for this video. I will see you next time at the Center Beacon.